Um, Good morning, everybody. Just doing a quick sound check. Okay, that's good. That's good. That seems good. Let me share that I am live with Discord, and then I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. Share. Good morning, everybody. My name is Alckemy. I'm super sleepy. Didn't sleep well last night. These wonderful, crazy little puppers were very active at night, and so I was constantly like falling asleep and then being like, so uh, I think that I need some coffee. Welcome. If you're brand new, we're going to be doing some sound design. I'll probably make some, I'm not going to be starting a tune today, but I'll probably make some drums. I'll probably make some bass. I'll probably make some more bass. I'll probably make a pad, something else of the sort. But would love to have you here. I'm going to pull up chat on my phone because that way I can save some real estate whenever I'm trying to have everything up. So give me just 1 second for this to pull up, and I'll say hello to everybody. What? All right, let me get down on that cup of coffee, and then you and I, friends, are going to get started on the tunas. Or sorry, not the tunas. We're not doing tunas today. We are doing sounds. I hope that you all are well and amazing and happy and healthy. I'm doing fine. I went to the gym yesterday, did my backflips and stuff. What else is going on? What else did I do? That's pretty much all I did yesterday. I'm really sore from that. The other thing that I have been doing is house sitting for wonderful little doggos. And I'm also really excited because I ordered some new speakers. And those are coming in Friday, but I'm not going to have a chance to play with them until at least Monday. But yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be hella sick. We got the flex cam going. And we are ready to rock and roll. Much love to you all. Do I have anybody in chat? I don't see anybody. Where is chat? Where is chat? Nope, no chat. Okay. It's just me today. That's fine. We'll have some fun. We will have some fun. Well, that doesn't sound right. So I'm just going to use a template because I don't feel like doing the thing. What I am going to do though, kick template, clapmaker 2. Oh, I do want to save that as a favorite. Here we go. Hey, Ugly. I'm early today. What are we planning? We're just doing sound design today. I'm just hanging out. Can you hear me okay? Nice. Perfectly. Okay, sweet. And then can you hear the audio okay? So like I have a different setup where I'm actually using earpods. That way you don't hear an echo or like a doubling coming out of the speakers. Yeah, it's good. Okay, sweet. Sick. How are you, dude? How is everything? Yeah, I think like I'm just kind of in like hangout chat mode today. I'm so dead. Super duper, super duper tired. I'm good today, man. Canada is gonna be hot today, around 27. So it's gonna be a bit toasty. Other than that, well, stay cool, man. My instructor actually lives in Winnipeg. Um, so I'm sure that he'll be telling me that it's super hot. Oh, dope. Yeah. I've been to Canada a lot, actually, quite a few times. I go visit him and train with him. Well, before COVID, at least once a year, but he's coming to the States this time, so I'll see him then. Come to Van City sometime when it's not hot as fuck. I might, I might see if, well, I guess Victoria is on the island, but I would love to go see Hudson for an afternoon and grab a coffee with him or something. That'd be really cool. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Ugh. You still haven't spoken to anyone local? Dude, I live in Vegas and I still haven't talked to anybody local. Well, other than my friend Isaiah, but he's kind of doing his own thing. There are weirdly very few producers in person out here. That's true. Yeah, I think like the the producer community in general, like as a whole, are low key like pretty antisocial. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I'm so sorry. I'm very antisocial. Yeah, I feel like uh I mean to a degree, yeah. I think that's why like the internet is a great place to be for people like that because it allows you to have complete control over engagement because, you know, if you want to be social, you can, and at any point in time, like you don't have to worry about leaving or being like, yo, like I don't want to be here anymore or something, you know, you can just be like, yeah, I'm gonna shake and then that's that. And then that's that. I don't think I've ever shared my music with your community or you. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but most people haven't. And even for me, like people are like, "Yo, when are you gonna put music out? When are you gonna release music?" And I'm like, I don't know, never. I think that like it's good to share music and stuff, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal. Actually, I don't want to do it 100%. I was just realizing to, oh, we're listening to Mogan Heat. and hide and seek, a unique tune, and I'm really re-inspired. Do I know of her? I do. Um, she, I think, has invented some really insane technology, or at least um, she's used some really insane technology and talked about it in TED Talks and stuff. Okay, offer up. Way to be fucking loud as shit. I never knew that. Yeah, look up Imogen Heap TED Talk, and she's got a really interesting show or a really interesting thing regarding the matter. What was her? I'm trying to think about what her most favorite or most famous song was. I know that hide and seek was a big one, but I feel like there was another one that was. I don't remember. It's too early. I'm still like, went to bed at midnight and got up with my wife at 5. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think I got about 5 hours of sleep as well. So I feel you. I fell asleep around 3, around 2. Yeah. No. Fell asleep around 3. That sucks, man. Like taking 2 hours to fall asleep. I know how that feels, and it fucking sucks. Yeah, I was trying to sleep, and the dogs just kept getting up and kept doing stuff and kept, you know, barking at each other and play fighting and stuff. And one of the little ones, Lily, was just like, bark, bark. And I'm just like, yo, please stop. So, I don't know if you've listened to The Source of Nightmares or not, but that was definitely the intro of The Source of Nightmares. Bark! No, they're great dogs, though. I love them. What is that? It's the second EP that I released. Third? Second or third. Because I put the Infinite Corridor and then the Source of Nightmares out around the same time. It's on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm gonna listen. Well, thanks. Yeah, it's very dark. Very dark. Well, you know my music. You're here all the time. Very, very dark. It is dark. So what I'm doing now is just, bro. um, I'm creating some reverb here. Wake up. I'm creating some reverb here to create spaces within this, and I'm going to map this to this one about that much, so that way we'll get some cool spatial things. What are you doing, Charlie? Getting into trouble? What are you doing? Hmm? You're being all sweet, but somebody peed on the carpet the other day. He likes to pretend to be sweet, but he's hella territorial and pees on everything. Let's see if I can create some other interesting emotion through this. The only animals I interact with? Dogs? Our two bunnies? Like my parents and my bro's cat. Dude, I love dogs. They're so... Mr. Bigglesworth? That's fucking hilarious. Is it a naked cat? No. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. My bro loves Austin Powers. I mean, it's still funny, for sure. Clearly, yeah. Hey, Credo. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up band 4 now. Actually, I'm going to apply just a touch of reverb onto this. Like this much. Or this much stereo information, rather. And what that's going to achieve is going to help us with our mid-side processing here in a second. The chat section. What's wrong with the chat section? Just funny. Just me. Oogly's carrying the chat, and I appreciate it. Hey, Ross. We're coming. I don't know what this is, but I guess Flight of the Valkyries. And let's do just a touch of this somewhere. I'm coming out. I want the world to... Wait a minute. Just join. Sounds very Prodigy so far. Love it. Prodigy? Come on, breathe with me. I don't know how you got to Prodigy, but I mean, alright. So now what we're going to do is we are going to give this, it's on a mid side, so we'll do some processing to the mids. Sorry, I'm just thinking what I'm doing. Turn that bad boy on. Yes, Prodigy. Question, Alk. Do I know who Steelen is? No, I don't. No, I do not. Rip Keith Flint. Is Keith Flint the Prodigy? Hmm, gotcha. Uh, yo, thank you so much for the follow. Unf. Hey, Dash, what's good, brother? Oh man, he's a producer that produced his own sounds, like he programmed them. He kind of vanished though. The SoundCloud guy? Oh, I don't know. Hey, speaking of really cool sounds and stuff, Dash Glitch just entered the chat. You guys should give him a follow. Really cool person to know. Really well informed and a very cool person. Dash Glitch? I like that name. Well, if you like his name, you'll probably like him more as a person. He's pretty set. Actually makes really good psytrance. Like really good psytrance. New studio? No, I'm house sitting. Hey, production. The thoughts on musical depression and how to edit? Oh, how to end it? Yo, that's actually a really good question, dude. And I have a video plan. I've been doing a lot of talking head videos as of late because, well, for one, I'm not at home, but two, I've been more interested in doing like philosophical things. But really, like when it comes to, actually, let me just tell you this much. So my partner, my wonderful partner, she's upstairs working right now, is a therapist, and she says that 90% of like diagnosis of depression is circumstantial. And so what that basically means is Raminal. What that basically means is that a lot of times when you are depressed, it's because of like, unfortunate circumstances and all that. So what that basically means is like sometimes the depression aspect of that is bigger than the music. What that also means is that it like you might have to you might it might be better to change priorities within what it is that you're doing and taking care of in your daily life. And the third aspect to that is to consider reevaluating what you're doing music for, right? If you are doing it as a means to like cope with depression, then you needed to like be very intent on how you treat it as coping with depression, right? You need to come at it as something that is taking your mind off of the other circumstance or is helping you channel emotions that are too difficult for you to explain. Some of my best music came out from me being really depressed. And I'm lucky enough that I was at a point in my production cycle to where I was able to kind of like do that. But if you are getting depression from music, then you need to like kind of because that could totally happen, right? Like depression can happen from anything. So you really need to take time to um, consider what you find valuable out of your music. See, it just took one question to wake me up. Uh, Force yourself out of the loop. I could talk to you about that for hours. Yes, very wise words. If the depression is music linked, then the music is a great thing. Oh, it's not music related. It's related to music that's tougher. Yeah. Music is the language of the soul. If you feel a certain way, it reacts to the sonic language you speak. Otherwise, it can become debilitating / addicting. You need to have a healthy balance. I agree. It really like anything that you do in life, regardless of like what people view it as, like unless if you're like, doing horrible things to people or yourself, which, there is no balance within that. But when it comes to, too much of anything is a bad thing, or being deprived of everything is also a bad thing. So you really have to try to take the time to get to know yourself and really be in touch with and be in tune with your own feelings. And that's okay. Like it's okay to like, and actually like I'm specifically speaking towards men and stuff because of the whole like toxic masculinity thing. And I think that, men in particular are, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, but men in particular, right, have only been allowed to in the past like show anger and stuff. And I guess that I'm just saying that it's okay to like have human emotions that you cannot control. You can control how you deal with them. And part of figuring out how to deal with them is to be able to recognize what it is that you're feeling. And if you can figure out where that feeling is coming from, then it's a lot easier to deal with because you're like, I feel afraid because I'm worried about this. And then you have a cognitive recognition. I feel sad because of this. I feel this through this. And that gets into like the problem solving aspect. What kind of physical activities you do? Exercise, yeah, definitely great. Um, I am a man, a huge man. I seem often as big and angry, but I'm not. I'm a very emotional and caring person and hiding my feelings as a man. Here. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It's like toxic masculinity is unfortunately a thing. And I'm also like, there's a midpoint for me because like on one end, like I think that it is really important to be in tune with your emotions, to be mature about your emotions. But, there is this aspect of like, how do I say this? Being able to talk about your feelings is a luxury because back in the day, regardless of your feelings, you had to survive, right? That's what it was. So your feelings did not matter. Your emotions did not matter. Your instincts is what mattered. And we kind of still have this idea that we have to play into that forever in everything that we do: survival, dominate, uh, conquer this and that. And like, I don't think that we're in that kind of society anymore. And I think that, or that kind of lifestyle, but I also think that there's a better way because we've evolved our cognitive thought processing, because we've developed systems, because we understand the social aspect of ourselves and of other species. Like, that's not the most efficient way to do things just because we were wired like that in the past. That's like saying, you know, technically speaking, I don't know if you knew this or not, but whales are said to be um, the ancestors of wolves and I guess dogs, right? That's a crazy fucking thought. So that's like being like, oh, well, wolves, came from whales, so they should know how to breathe underwater. It's like, no, shit changes, things evolve over time, and you have to really look at like the perspective of not what is so important of things of the past and what we're used to, but what kind of problem solving the world today needs. What kind of problem solving the you today needs, because it might be different than what it was yesterday. It might be different than what you previously thought. Your perspective might require a shift because the world is chaos and because the world is ever changing. Whales can't breathe underwater, so you're onto something. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's my mistake. So, but I think you guys get what I'm talking about. Um, Today we were blessed with a very own to realize it or not. I'm torn between shoulder your burdens in silence and choosing where to share. Yeah. Yes, I understand here. Yeah. Totally get you. And that was a cool fact. Thanks. Yeah. I'd say look it up and, you know, do your own research on that. But It makes sense, right? Um, so in that aspect though, like when you're doing stuff, like if you're making music and you fucking like and you hate what you're making, like all it changes or all it takes to make the change or all it takes sometimes is just like one new idea or one new thought process of doing things. But I think that if you are unhappy with yourself, because that can happen too, you're unhappy with your output, you're unhappy with like maybe the quality or something, like sometimes dismissing that and saying, well, how would I feel about music if I didn't care about that? How would I feel about music if I wasn't so worried about making it to top 40 on Beatport? I have a whole different spiel about that, but I'm not going to bring that up today. But like that's why it's important to make sure that you can like give yourself permission to make shitty music. That's why it's important to give yourself permission that it's still okay to waste an afternoon in the DAW just having fun, but balance it out, right? If you're going to choose to spend 10 hours playing video games, but you choose to do it in the sense of playing around with sounds and stuff, make sure you eat, make sure that you get some exercise, make sure that you, I don't know, you don't have to go outside, but it does help, or at least take a look out the window and do some daydreaming or something. Give yourself a refresh from your senses. Um, get up and stretch, do some seated good mornings if you've got back problems. Um, if you don't know what those are, you can look them up. But those are the kinds of things that will help you balance out that long, arduous session and stuff. We need to understand how the planet operates because it is a living thing and it is ever changing. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I've been producing on and off with depression since 2007, 2008. Dude, you've been in the game a long time. I've improved vastly over time, but damn, where some people get in 4 years, took me 10. Well, you also have to realize, Ugly, like the technology has changed drastically, right? Beatport is pay to win trash. I know, but it's a figure of speech. And it's actually a meme because somebody, I can't remember which video it was, but somebody started leaving comments. Oh, it was the Bitwig. All right, I don't want to call this person out, but if you guys look up the Bitwig versus Ableton video that I have, somebody was being like, "Yeah, nobody that's on the top thing of Beatport uses Bitwig, so I can't stand people like you because Bitwig people are all just cultists and stuff." And I'm just like, "Did you really just say that nobody on Beatport uses Bitwig, and there's a reason why?" So yeah, I'm not going to say any bad things other than I was very surprised. Yo, you one of them Wiggins. Yeah. And yes, technology has proved a lot, agreed. So yeah, I mean, and because of the technology, right? Like look at Bitwig. Look at what I'm doing right now. Like it's still a complicated process, but imagine if I did all this by automation by hand. Like of course it would take, an exponentially longer amount of time to learn because like this allows me to make all the mistakes with automation and modulation that normally would take me forever to set up, right? Because when you're talking about heavy processing with sounds and all that, like you have to figure out the relationship that each of this has. And with technology like this, with multipass and snap heap and modulators and stuff, you can just let it go and listen to it and very quickly figure out how stuff interacts with each other. So like this, the process has been super streamlined, right? Whereas back in the day, you had to create, three separate audio tracks of the high, mid, and low, and then you had to process each one with different effects. Then you had to bounce it, and then you had to do the whole process over again. And it's like the amount of time that goes into that is insane. Yeah, hand automating, fuck that. No, Bitwig is a beast. The only reason someone would say negative things is because they don't understand how it works. Well, I mean, for somebody to make a claim about Beatport, I would probably assume that they don't know much about music in the first place. But, I'm not going to sit there on my channel and call somebody stupid. Imagine at Beatport, they check which DAW you use before posting the release. Sorry, what DAW are you in, sir? Oh, you're in Cubase? Okay, you go into top 40. Oh, you're in Pro Tools? Hmm. 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 Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Hey, guess what? Friday, I am going to have Weaver Beats on stream, which will be fun. How about calling the A Dugas? Huh? I'll do it for you. I mean, I can fight my own battles, but feel free to leave your own thoughts in the comments. Doofus. Okay. That guy cracks me up. Doofus. Quit being a doofus. Oh, I forgot. Wait, are we? No, we're in the mid-side. We don't need that. We don't need no water. Let the mother burn. Okay, I was wondering what was going on. Sorry, I kind of lost track for a bit about what was happening, but we can just process the sides individually. Found his channel recently. Oh, that's like, is that somebody that says funny things or something? I thought you guys are just like, I thought you were talking about the person that made a comment on my channel or on my video. All right, so we are going to grab another, excuse me, multi-pass here. And just do some filtering. I'm sorry, guys. I am doing the best I can to wake up. I'm still like super sleepy and very tired. Okay, let's do some other stuff. Hey, Winter. Good morning, Viet. That's who I was talking about. The the channel ass. That's his name. Someone's name is the channel ass. Did I read that correctly? Hello, Winter. How are you, friend? Hello again to all my friends. Together we're gonna make some rocket neurobass. That's what I call the person that makes the comment on your channel. Oh, a doofus? I mean, you could say what you want, but I'm chilling at Starbucks and working on a production for ambient alternative song for a client. How do you fare well with producing in public? I find that like the the noise in the background is really distracting to me. Well, sometimes, like sometimes my partner is doing stuff and that doesn't really bother me when she's like in the kitchen or something, but if it's a bunch of people, that drives me pretty insane. Hey, Jazz. The fact that somebody would use Beatport as a form of measure in this day and age also says something. Yeah, well, what can you say? I think for me, it's just like, all right, man, I said my piece. I said the things that I had to say on the matter, and now I'm just like, okay, dude, what else? Just, just enjoy your life. Don't use Bitwig. I don't give a shit whether or not you do it. It makes no difference to me. It really makes no difference to me. And that's kind of the interesting thing is like some people get so caught up in that shit that it's like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, and whatever. And it's like, no, you could go fucking make music with a can if you wanted to. I've seen plenty of people do that, but you know, people are tripping. I have noise canceling headphones. I like producing in quiet. I also love having people around because I'm a bit of an energy. You doing okay, honey? You need anything? There's still some coffee left. Love you.
Make it see.
Yeah. You gonna kiss me on camera?
What? Why not?
Affection on camera. Love you, baby. Alert. What were we talking about? Sorry, she just came over and took all my attention, and I. Ah, my headphone. Chat says, "Aw, aw." Um, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, like having her around is fine, but I think like having just a bunch of people around me and stuff with all the mental chatter and all that, like it's. I'm usually pretty good at tuning stuff out, but there's a point. But I guess if you have noise canceling headphones, it's not that bad. Love the hair. Aw, how sweet. Yeah, her hair's dope, isn't it? It's like red and then has black tips. Because the jaw jumped up. You two are so cute. Thanks. She takes the cuteness award.
Did they see my shirt?
No, they didn't see your shirt.
It is number
Boba Cat. I wish my wife was at home now. Oh, well,
I'm come home for a lunch sex break.
how do you like those?
Lunch sex
No, not a lunch set.
break.
She said, Uli, she said, tell your wife to come home for a lunch sex break. I might have to switch it though. I need to play parts in ANX. Uli says ha 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 ja, because there was a J in there. I'll tell her that. Okay, let us know what she says. Let's see if we can get you hooked up.
For peer pressuring you to have more sex.
Welcome to Alckemy's dating hotline featuring Corey. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. We're gonna get you late. I mean, we're gonna get you a date.
We're gonna get you late. She's gonna be late back to work. What's gonna happen? I'm here all day.
LA Winter is a professional and has to do it moving. He was saying that he's making music at a Starbucks, and I was like, I can't do that because it's like too many people. You know, like I don't like being in public and immersing myself in something in a completely different world. I feel too vulnerable. I'd be like, somebody could come up right behind me and just smack me on top of the head and steal my laptop. I'd be too paranoid. Thanks, honey. Why'd you stop?
It's $25 an hour for this service.
Well, you don't want to know how expensive my services are.
I got a new job.
I got a new job.
What do you think?
You can afford me.
2 minutes of foot rub. My budget stop.
2 minutes of foot rub?
For your feet.
For my feet? You don't rub my feet.
You said you're expensive. For you to rub my feet.
Oh, for me to rub your feet? No, that's free because you have a hard job.
You have a hard.
PG-13? Maybe? Maybe
Any
PG-13?
kids on the channel? No.
Slap and ticks? I'll slap and tickle? What? What?
Instead of antics.
Oh, I have about 10,000 changes from the client on this one, so I need the proper fuel to get through it. Yikes. I've always wanted to do client work. Oh, you've always wanted to do client work, huh? Sorry, she got me. All right. All right. Anyways. Bye. Go away. but that makes me go no, senor. Um, Sorry, funny stuff. She's she's a character. But what was I talking about? Yeah, I'm trying to think about like what kind of services I would offer on a client-based thing. Like I think I've done some sound design and ghost producing like one time. Um, and I don't know how that turned out, but they paid me. So there's that. I've done No, I haven't done like any exclusive sounds for anybody before. So the only thing that I really do that's on a client basis is teach privates. What is the project? Do what you do, Winter. You gotta do what you do. Mixing and rub starting at 100 an hour. What is ghost producing? Assisting, yeah, pretty much making music without like your no no your name still goes on the credits, but the headliner like the headline name is through like the artist or whatever. How'd it turn out? Number one on Beatport? I have to be careful with what I say about other people. I really don't want anybody to like go and flame this person or like say anything bad. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but at the same time, I guess it's hard not to mention or talk about. It's a public comment, so like I guess it's not that bad, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, what the fuck did you just say? I'm sorry. What? Okay, so let's finish this up. Some mid-side EQ. I'm sorry I'm going so slow. I'm actually having a great time talking to chat. So, wait, and after you die, mixing and rub starting at 100 an hour, then you die after? What? You mix? Welcome to your final foot rub. Please enjoy. No, 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 no. Ghost producer. Oh, you make a tune for somebody and then you die. Okay. I was like, dog, that got hella dark. You die, then mix. First you die, then you mix. Then you get mixed. Then you mix up getting mixed. Um, Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I can create some other cool shit with this. So I have a question. Has I've recently put up two videos that has just been me talking. Have you guys like enjoyed those videos at all by chance, or do you want me to go back to just regular tutorials, or um, like I don't know, thoughts, questions, comments, observations? I'm curious to know. Kind of pop too. I'm finally figuring out this sequencer I have, the performer. It can link patterns together and pre-select the tracks unmuted or whatever. It's all useful. Freeze my hands for effects and stuff. What kind of sequencer is it? Is it hardware? Excuse me. Sorry, it's out of my control. Ew. Euro rack module. Another modular person. And yes, your new vids are nice. I think having a variety of videos talking about what you enjoy and care about helps us as an audience understand where you come from and what matters to you. I think keep doing those chat vids, bro. I have Snapheap and don't use it. I need to see what it will do with the stuff I have after watching you. I mean, maybe I mean, this is like the obvious caveat part, right? I would say like check out the preset packs that I have, but I have a lot of free stuff too. But dude, Snap Heap and Multipass are this ecosystem that I'm working in is to me anyways is the meta of sound design. Like it just I think that this is the best shit that you can get your hands on right now. Feel free to disagree, anybody, because I don't really care, but I do think that like it's the best. It's definitely one of the best, hands down. No, I agree. I've seen enough of Faceplant. Venus Theory did a good video recently that struck a chord for me and my partner on needing to take breaks. So the video that I put up 2 days ago actually talked about that video because I watched that as well. And then seemingly kind of interesting. I feel like most of like there's a bunch of producers that are kind of on the same wavelength, but I talked to, or sorry, I mentioned Mr. Ed Rollo because he put out a video on like stop monetizing your videos. And while he does have a lot of really good points, and I agree with like the approach that he does with that regarding maintaining integrity, I still wanted to kind of like do my own take on that because you've got three different YouTubers that all have like that are all trying to do the same pursuit about like making it as a content creator on YouTube, and I think that it was just a good time to put something up like that. But I think that both of those other guys have good points, and it's cool to see like I guess those different perspectives for somebody like Cam, right? Venus Theory, you know, he like we started our channel at the same time, and I'm currently sitting at almost 13,000 subscribers, and he's at 150,000. Um, and he found a path that helped him become more successful. And like, I hope that he continues to be successful and stuff because he's a great person and he's got a really good outlook on music. Mr. Ed Rollo has been teaching music production forever and has his own platforms and stuff before he even started the YouTube platform. And then there's me who, you know, I'm not a big channel or anything, but I'm really just like happy to be in a place where I'm doing stuff like this. And then I'm actually like really enjoying just making music on stream. That's what that was the whole point of the YouTube channel was to get people to my music. And now like I went through this crazy process of like trying to do that on stream and hating what I was doing, but I've been doing it for like 5 years and finally some stuff just clicked and I'm like, yo, I could just make tunes on stream from beginning to end. It's the voice and the mustache. I like his stuff. JK, I like his stuff to watch yours. I like his stuff to watch yours more. What? No, but I don't mean that as a like that shouldn't be a comparison. It just worked out for Venus Theory. Roll of the dice. No, I don't think so. I think that I see what you're saying, and I think that maybe a small part of that kind of came into that. But something that Venus Theory actually coached me on, and something that he gave to me, was actually really insightful. And the thing about Venus Theory's videos is that he tells very compelling stories. And he really puts a lot of thought and time into his production. And he really like thinks about the things that he puts up. Whereas for me, I'm like, I'm just going to put a video up or I'm just going to talk about some stuff that I'm interested in and just do it in this format. So there's no like, you know, I don't have a blurry background. You know, I don't have crazy editing. I actually stopped editing my music or stopped editing my videos because why am I going to spend 6 hours editing for a video that gets 500 views? That's just inefficient to me. I'd rather just put my thoughts up and be like, okay, guys, you know, figure out what the fuck you want to do. To me, like my channel is always about the music, and I hope that that continues to be enough to sustain the channel. And if it's not, then I'll consider doing other things. But like, I'm a musician and a producer. That's what I want you all to know me on this channel for. Yeah, I agree, Dash. It's really good, and he does it himself. and he and he does it well. Yeah, it's definitely. I find Venus Theory plays it safe, which is not a criticism. I I think sometimes I think that he does a lot of different stuff though. Like if you look at his catalog, he's got a lot of variety. You guys are so different, and you have your place in the metaverse. You both work things differently. Yeah, and not to mention like we make very different music too, right? This is my favorite live stream. I'm always in when I can because you're awesome and you cultivate and attract great people into the chat. Thanks, dude. Well, I think what's really important that I try to identify with people with is like I'm not like you guys ever talk to a producer and you're like, "Oh man, you're so good," or like, "Man, I really look up to you," or something like that. Like I've never seen myself to be in that position. It's always been like, "Yo, like I'm still learning. I'm still somebody that is trying to get better at music and I don't want to get like I think my biggest fear as being a content creator on YouTube was being another one of those mediocre music producers that's like, yo, check this out. We're going to do this. Check out this beat I made. And it's like, boop, beep, beep, bap, beep, boop, beep, beep, bap. And it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, if people are going to know me for my music or people are going to like recognize me on YouTube and stuff, like, I really want to make quality music. And I think that's something that we all want to do coming up together. Exactly, right. Is I'm still learning and like I want to take you all with me. And I've found that that approach has been not even like it might not be the best approach, but I think that it's something that hey Das, I think that it's something that people can relate to a lot easier if you take the time to come into the channel and stuff. But I also want you all to talk to each other. You know, I want you all to feel like it's a safe space to be in. Oh, saw Das. Um, and that's kind of where I think that people are going to find the most value within the channel, right? Because how many times have I done a video on Neurobase? How many sound design tutorials have I done? And what have you learned from it? What is it that you're taking away from it? If you want to learn how to make music, come in the stream. That's the best way that, like, if you're here for the music, then come into the stream because that is how you will learn how to make music the best. Yeah, totally agree. Anyone is more than welcome to contact on my SoundCloud. Yo, anybody could DM my SoundCloud, but make sure that you send me a follow. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would not stick around if it wasn't a safe place and welcoming. Yeah, and that's important for me, right? Like, imagine if this were not that, and you would be like, oh man, like Alchemy, like if it was the opposite, like Alchemy's making professional tunes or whatever, but his chat's just full of dicks, like, or he's a dick, like that would suck. Okay, they're playing. I sadly only use SoundCloud and Discord, the PPs. I think Discord is great. I think, well, I hate Discord for other reasons, for streaming reasons and like audio stuff. But as far as a community-based thing, it's really good. I do the PayPays. I'm gonna move this over. Dude, there are a lot of female musicians that lurk and don't want to comment in fear of criticism. I know a few of them. Well, not just that, but also like getting rid of the stigma of like even the term female producers, right? It's something that like it's something that my partner had to talk to me about because I wasn't even aware of it. But we really need to get out of like, oh, there's producers, but then there's female producers, right? Like, or I have a friend, her name is Chloe. We did the Chris Angel show together. She's a magician, right? But in her field, she's like known as a female magician, and instead, it just needs to be, well, she's a magician, right? And so, working on getting that out and working on fixing things and like allowing that safe space, and even just a small way like that, right? Because for me as a guy, I unfortunately think about that. I'm like, yo, like, oh, dope. Especially, look, let's be honest, especially if I were single, I'd be like, oh, she's a female producer, right? That's really cool. That's really, honestly, that's attractive. It doesn't have to be like a thing or whatever, but imagine if every single person of binary gender, or even not. You know, if somebody that is non-binary and they were like, "Oh, I'm a non-binary producer," like we don't say that. We just say, "Oh, I'm a producer." So you really have to, yeah, yeah. So like you really have to be like, "I'm just a producer." And if that applies to men, it has to apply to every other kind of gender or however you want to define yourself as. Now, the interesting thing about that, though, that I talk to my partner about is like there's this middle ground, right? Because sometimes setting yourself, like setting, like sometimes that minority group wants to have that identity aspect to it of being like, yes, I am standing as somebody that is unique, but I think that that advantage can only play you so far. So I don't know what the answer is. If you all have any thoughts about that, keep it clean. But it is something to be discussed, right? Because people should be honored for what they are, and people should be honored for being unique. But at the same time, sometimes that uniqueness can stem off into those stereotypes and also those categories that most people, I guess, that represent that minority might not want to identify with. A doctor is a doctor, regardless of general. Should be the same for. Yeah, I agree with that. We need to all be citizens. We need to watch this. Yeah. Sometimes people end up being focused on the wrong thing. Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I would say that, like, mostly for women, this is the most common thing. But back in the 90s, um, this is going to sound really weird, but if you were a rapper and you were white, you would be a white rapper, right? Because even though the culture itself is representing minorities within like a general society or within the hip hop society, being white was considered to be uncommon, or like being a white rapper was considered to be uncommon. And so like there are all these little plays and tells and stuff that go in between, right? And I think that like you can still again recognize something that is uncommon or something that is unique without putting that out there, right? Without forcing the label on somebody else. That's what I'm saying is like it's not always intended to be something that's negative, but here are the pros and cons to something like that. And here's why in some cases like it could be good, and here's why some people might actually prefer that. Here's also why sometimes it's not so good. Totally agree. Good music is good music. Oh, Lord, the 90s, good time to be around, but yeesh, looking back, like, I thought the 90s was a good time to be alive. Humans and their classifications into gender, sex, race, origin, religion is plain stupid, especially in the 21st century. Well, we're getting better, right? Mostly. People that are wanting change within society and wanting to improve society are uh, developing new terms and creating almost this culture in its own life that, or in its own right, that is helping us figure this stuff out. And there's definitely some people that do it in an overboard manner because, you know, because radicals exist. But I think that for us, when we're trying to navigate these things, if we're trying to pursue this with a means of approaching it with peace and approaching it with creating a safe environment for everybody with an approach of inclusivity, then I think that, it's at least a step in the right direction. We're all growing and learning. Even 20 years ago, yeah, absolutely. Bro, this is why aliens are like, yeah, this is why aliens don't talk to us. I know, right? Remember that song, Pretty Fly for a White Guy? Yeah, I do. It's mostly used for marketing and it's tricky to do. Wait, what did Das say? Oh, yeah. Well, like social science, I guess, is really interesting in the way that we do things and whatnot. But I think that's why, and I was talking to Oogly about this earlier before everybody came in. Thanks for being here, Oogly. But we were talking about how like a lot of the producer community is like low key antisocial in a lot of ways, and that's why the internet is cool because any one of you can come in here and say whatever you want without facing any consequences other than a potential ban. But I mean, and people have, people have come in here and been like, fuck you or whatever. I've gotten death threats on emails. So there's some negativity to it as well, but which I think is funny. Like out of all people, like you're gonna send death threats to me. Like, do you know who I am? I just like what? No, it happened right after I was talking bad about Unison's Drum Monkey plugin. No problem, homie. I'm here to help raise the collective consciousness of humanity, bro. Yeah, and and that's kind of why I try to pay attention to chat as much as possible because like I don't want anybody to feel like they have to try or have to fight for attention, um, or have to like, you know what I mean, or have to like overexert themselves. I'm here to have your attention, so I'm here to give you the attention that I'm hoping to receive from you. I think that's pretty fair, and everybody in the chat matters. Um, Yeah, I didn't make a big deal about it, but somebody was like, fuck you, you cut your hair, you shitty YouTube producer musician, you're never going to amount to anything, go kill yourself, you should die or some shit like that. Who didn't get on Unison for that BS? They tried, right? Lots of gadgets in this house going off. That is awesome, Alchemy. I don't remember what we talked about. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's why some of us really like being here because we feel heard. And that's what I want for everybody is like you guys ever go into a chat like on Twitch or on stream or something and then it's just like you say hi and then like nobody says hi back. Like that I don't know about you, but that immediately makes me want to leave. You must be tired. Well, keep in mind like there's so many thoughts that I'm trying to keep up with, so it's really easy for me to get lost. Also in the matter of multitasking with like sound design and stuff too, so forgive me. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Maybe one of the Unison staff folks. I mean, it seems that way, but you know, uh, like I said, anybody could do it, right? Anybody can create a fake email and like send some hate and call you, homophobic things, call you, horrible, nasty names or whatever, and then just like go on their day and then be like, I don't know, like I wonder what those people do. They go and like brag about it to their friends and feel good about it. Like, yeah, I went to, I made a fake email and then I sent it to Alchemy and I was like, you fucking insert whatever words you want to say. And it's just like, that's what you chose to do with your time. I have a lot of fun watching Ava McCree's Unison roast. So that was what I left a comment on, was that one. Yeah, I tried joining in on a virtual riot or on a Venus Theory chat room once, and it was chaos. Thinking that's part of the experience too. Well, sometimes, right? I'm glad you don't take it personally and keep making the music. Thanks. Well, there's nothing to take personal. These people don't know me. Nobody knows me. I mean, I share a lot of stuff with you all, like regarding what I'm doing in my life. But like, truth of the matter is that like nobody knows me. Nobody knows what I'm doing on a day to day. So how, like, what are you gonna say? You don't know me. If you did know me, you would know that I put way too much money into this mobile game that I have a Discord that keeps going on and off of. That's why I have sample packs to support my mobile game addiction. Um, no, but yeah, it's like you know what I'm saying. It's like, and that's kind of and that's kind of the thing with you all as well. Is like I don't know any of you. I know some of you guys personally, actually. Sometimes some of my friends come into the chat, but more importantly is like you never know who is going to step into the chat room or walk through the door or however, like what kind of social interaction you have. So like for one, be kind, and two, have the willingness to network as much as possible. Like there's a caveat to that for sure, right? Like if somebody comes in and they're being weird, like like you got to have boundaries. But if somebody's like, hey man, I'm not having a good day or something like that, like I can't tell you how many times I've been in this situation where I didn't know that that was happening, and I talked to somebody and later down the line they were like, man, thank you so much. Like I was having a really shitty day and I feel so much better, or like you really helped me get through this tough time or something like that. And that's not because I'm amazing. It's because I've been teaching for a really long time. So being a positive influence when people came in the class and whatnot, that was part of it. And my instructor and I talk about that a lot. Sorry, I'm going to catch up with chat in just a second. Let me finish my thoughts. But but yeah, like you never know who's going to walk through. You never know who is going to help you. And like my thing is, there are so many of you in the chat that have supported this channel directly that like I feel not necessarily obligated. I don't think that's the right word, but like I'm almost like I'm happy to see you. Does that make sense? Like I'm happy to see that people are here. I am so happy that you chose out of everything that you like out of everything that you decided to do today, you chose to be here. And I guess like in saying that, I want to make sure that it's worth your time. So that is why I value each and every person that comes in here. Okay, what mobile game do you play? It's Mega Man X Dive. Just kidding. Yeah, it's Mega Man X Dive. I play that way too much. I need to get a pack or two only for support or sounds. No, like thank you, but don't like only buy stuff. Only only buy my packs if you think that they're going to be useful. Only buy my stuff if you think that there's something that is going to be applicable to you, because the last thing that I would want to sell somebody is something that is not useful to them. I would even consider someone might even be depressed to the key of doing drastic things. Yeah, I've been there. I've talked people out of that before, to themselves or others. And I don't want to get too much into that, but you just never know, right? Uh, just for some kind of feeling interaction to simply feel. Mega Man. Haha, all good. Yeah. Mega Man X Dive is really, it's bad. It's bad. But it's fun. And they are pulling out all of my nostalgia strings. So what can I say? I said not only for support. No, I know, but I guess like I'm just reeling that because sometimes people do that, right? Sometimes people are like, I don't even want the damn thing, but here's some, like here's some cash, or like here's a like on the video or something. Just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I think like one thing that I'm trying to avoid with the channel, and also like in comparison to a lot of other channels and people and stuff, is like the entitlement aspect. It's like if I'm going to make money, I want to earn it. I don't just expect people to just be like, here you go, because well, what the fuck, who am I? So anything that I do, or anytime somebody chooses to support the channel, like I want to make sure that they feel like they're getting equal or greater value out of it. Without getting into it, same here, been there. Yeah, and it's hard. So long story short, from that idea is to take care of your people, take care of your homies, take care of people that choose to walk into your chat and say hello. Take care of your lurkers, take care of each other. And it doesn't have to be something that is this huge, investment, or this huge like, yo, I got to go way out of my way to do this, but more so in the sense of like, just be nice to each other. Just be nice. They save me a lot of time, and I can't afford faceplant right now. And I have a lot of free stuff too, though, for sale. So if you have Vital, then Noble King Alckemy takes care of his people. No, yeah, all right. Well, I guess that's enough white knighting. Not trying to really come off as that either, but really just as a matter of wanting to create the environment that I want to be in. Kindness really matters. Yeah. I'm an asshole sometimes too, though. Definitely have had my asshole moments. And sometimes I get really short circuit. What's it called? I guess, really short when people. Now I do have Vital. Yeah, there's a free pack on my website, so just go download that and enjoy it. You don't even have to buy anything. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I get really short with people that like argue with me about semantics and shit, or they argue with me about like things that I have put an extensive amount of time into, and almost like comes off as like disrespectful. So I have to like be mindful of those kinds of things. Like when people say things like that, or when people get really upset when I don't make some kind of content, and I'm like, I have the content up, you just haven't watched it. How's it going, Al? Hey, Robert, what's good, brother? Yo, so thank you for your help, by the way, via the email. I ended up actually canceling my account with Shopify because they couldn't help me. They couldn't even help me, so I decided not to go that route. Be the change you want to see. Be the change in the world that you wish to ever have a dream, but you could not. But when you could dream, but you. I don't know if you guys have seen that kid or not. He's not a kid anymore, but let's see. When people tell you how it is, like I haven't put in the time. Yeah, exactly. I'm a deep neuroproducer. What can I say? In a world full of tacos. Sometimes you just have to be stern with people. Howard Stern. Yeah, I mean, or you could just ignore him, but I don't like to ignore people if I don't have to. I respond to almost every single comment. Be the change. Are you a nickel or a dime or a quarter? Assuming you're from America. America. Sorry. I haven't made very much sound today. I'm sorry, guys. So the patch you have, what's the plan with it? It's probably just gonna go into the vault of Eternum 5 or something. How Stern? Howard Stern. Lol. Have you ever had a dream that but you'll do you once, and you could do so, but not you, but you'll do you do anything? Isn't it adorable how we got him off course? I mean, that was the point today, though, right? Like, if you actually read the description, I was like, I kind of just wanted to like hang out with chat today and like have something to do in the background and whatnot. But I do enjoy the conversation aspect of chat. I like that almost as much as producing. And then when I'm producing, I try to actually like shut up and then let you all talk in the background, and like that way I can just make music and you guys have something going on in the background. But I have a question about physical fitness. Okay, I might have an answer. Yeah, it helps the crushing loneliness. Dude, that's a thing. That exists. Do I do grip training? Only in Metal Gear Solid 2 for the pull-ups. If you got that, like if you got that, I will gift a sub, but be honest. Um, no. No, I don't really do grip training. I mean, I do fingertip push-ups, but that's not really a grip thing. That's more of just a stability thing, for hand stability. Raffle, dude. Nice. Do you know what I'm talking about, though? I train my fingers and hands every day. Yes, these chats are great for feeling connected. And that's what I would want, like, what is the point of music? If you think about it, like, or I guess, like, what is the point of Twitch? What is the point of all of this? What are we doing here? Um, I will say that if it's just because I'm the one running the show, but if it's just for me to make music, like I don't think that it's gonna last. Or sorry, if it's just for me to make money, it's not gonna last. Um, if it doesn't have some kind of personal growth aspect to it, it's not worth doing. There's a lot of ways to make money. Community is literally everything. Yeah, I brag about you guys a lot. I hope you know that. I brag about you guys a lot. the Discord, the chat, just my regulars. Um, and I want you all to know that. Like, I want you all to know that, like, you are heard. You guys are very much so like a big part of this channel. And you don't have to be here for long to be a part of the channel. It's just a matter of like leaving an imprint on something that like I chose to start, but we're all kind of working on together, right? So there is that. I do have to make money, unfortunately, and I would love to give out everything for free. But I hope that it's been in a very casual way up to this point, and it hasn't been like, damn, Alchemy's like begging for money. It's like I don't know. That's such a hard thing, man. It's like how do you ask for support without trying to be a dick, or like without trying to just seem like you're trying to take advantage of everybody in a world that's where everybody is trying to take advantage of everybody. Uh, yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about. You had me and my friends and Stitches one day when streaming a game, by the way. We had so much fun that day. Tis true. What game was I playing? Was I playing Elden Ring? Sorry, I was just asking about the grip training because it helps with sitting for hours on a keyboard and mouse. Carpal tunnel syndrome can be negated with regular grip training. I was playing Elden Ring. Yeah, I do love playing games, but I don't like playing games when like chat is really quiet because then I get really bored and then I get quiet and then I start trying hard and then I start hating the game. But it is really fun if like people don't care about how good I am and we can just like sit there and meme about it. That's really fun to do. But this isn't a gaming channel, and every time I've played games on this channel, it has impacted me very negatively. So I don't do that anymore. I actually play games on Discord. The human aspect is what keeps me here, even when I just say lay low and watch, learn. Thanks again. Yeah, dude, please come in and chill. I'm not gonna lie, whenever you said lay low, I thought of that old Snoop Dogg song. He better lay low. Man, Doom Eternal is a blast to play while hanging with the chat. I've done that before. I've played Doom Eternal with chat. Um, that game is really hard. That game is really hard. All right, like I don't think that I understand the flow of it. Yep. He better lay low. Bum 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 bum. I want to try Doom Eternal someday. Yeah, you guys know me. I love my hip hop. I have crushed that game on the hardest setting. Dang, dude. I'm trying to think of like if there's any game that I'm going through. Is it co-op as well? No. What game have I just like wrecked on the hardest? Yeah, for Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg. For Dune Eternal? Yes, I think so. No, I don't think it's co-op. It's multi. It is. There is a multiplayer setting. Yo, thank you so much for the follow. M Smart, I really appreciate it. Sorry, I had to pull up OBS to see whose name that was. Okay, pretty happy with this one. Oh, did I show you guys the speakers that I ordered? How about Ninja Gaiden on the hardest difficulty setting? I think I've done hard, but not Master Ninja. Did I play Sekiro? I did. I played it on stream. I'm all about Halo Infinite right now. Me and my friend Sterling play Halo Infinite every once in a while. So if anybody has an Xbox, my gamer tag is alckemy6634, I think. Alckemy6634. So feel free to add me. Speakers, Halo Infinite. I sent you an email for you to look into or free time to get a different SH, a different shop setup. Well, the shop was supposed to be for YouTube, right? That was supposed to be able to connect. and that's why I wanted to do that. I'd love to join you guys. Yeah, come in. I mean, I don't really play X. I'm usually here, so I'm usually doing this. To be honest, I don't really have time for games, but when I do play games, anybody is more than welcome to do that. I also play Call of Duty, or if you play Elden Ring on Xbox, you're more than welcome to. I also have a Switch. Uh, you guys are welcome to be. We don't just have to talk through chat. Just don't be creepy. I ordered focal shape, or not focal shape, but focal alpha evo twins. So hold on one second. I don't need chat actually. Focal alpha evo twin. Well, some stuff is not happy with the atoms or extra pair. It says V666. No, the speakers that I have right now are just JBL 305s. But I ordered these guys. I ordered a pair of these. It's not something that I'm like just outright purchasing, so it's something that I'm going to pay off over time. But I'm really excited about them and kind of curious as to how they're going to sound. Team Yamaha over here. I heard that those are kind of sharp on the high end. New Reaper update says version 66. Nice. Okay, I will go back and find it. Team Yamaha. They are. You will love these quality of focal on point. How is your website hosted now then? You built it or paid someone? I see it's using Ruby. So if anybody's curious, I use Bandzoogle, and this allows me to edit my website. So I can edit my content. Thank you, everybody, by the way. Eternum 4 is doing decent. It's not doing terrible. I hope that you all love it. But yeah, you can just edit the content through the host of the site. But the reason why I use Bandzoogle is because it is kind of centered around like musicians and stuff. But the reason why I wanted to, sorry, the reason why I wanted to use Shopify or switch over to Shopify was because there's a store setting on YouTube now that instead of just allowing you to do merch, which like nobody bought my merch, so I was just like, that's kind of pointless. But if you look at somebody else's video, so let me find somebody that is like really big. Let me see. Oh, like Mixbus TV. That's what I was looking at the other day. So if you look at stuff like this, then there's a shop or like a store that's right here. Hey, Gabe. Good to see you, buddy. And you can actually put different stuff on here, and everybody has this thing called Spring. Once you hit, it used to be 10,000 subscribers, but now it's 1,000. But with Shopify, you can actually connect your Shopify account to your shelf. And that's why I wanted to use Shopify, but I could not for the life of me get my products on here. And that's why I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Hello. It's been a bit, but real busy with grad school, but I made it today. Yeah, we've kind of just been chopping it up and just chatting. So you haven't really missed out on anything that you hadn't seen before. I'm somewhat considering the Eve SC208 or the 8-inch Genelex, but that takes me a long, oh my God, dude. I can only imagine how expensive 8-inch Genelex are. Actually, I don't have to imagine. 8-inch, I don't know what the code is for them because they have different things, but yeah, the 8050. Oh, oh, my soul. Bro, how? They they have a few all hurtful in the soul. Yeah. Well, you know, my next one will be Atom monitors, but not the expensive ones. Focal is nice too. That's why I'm leaning towards the SC208. What are those? What kind of speaker, Dash, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of speakers do you use? Mm, maybe try SC28 monitors. I've never even heard of those. That's why I'm a headphone producer and mixer. Oh, this seems a little bit more budget friendly. This is about the same price range that I was looking at. Super underrated. I have Focal headphones. I really love everything they make. But aren't there Focal headphones like just for listening and not for mixing? I actually I can't stand headphones. Um, these are actually not too bad. So uh, ironically, I'm using AirPods, which I probably should check the battery on these. Hold on one second. Um, I'm doing okay. But yeah, these actually work incredibly well with like hardly any latency. So I can actually produce with these headphones like on the computer, and I didn't know that. I should probably clean them. But yeah, I don't like headphones. These look cool.
How much are they? Junior, come over here and take a look at these. They go down to 60 hertz. That means that the bass response is not bad.
Full Couch Trio 6, another dream nightmare to the soul. I've heard bad things about those actually. Not like I've heard that there's been a lot of problems with them. Simple 2.1 system with the sub. Well, I live in an apartment, so that's why I did not buy a sub. And I'm also expecting a sub pack and fucking God knows when. Just use them for streaming. Wait, I have Alesis, decent sound though. Enough to make me deaf in short time. Oh, word? Yeah, I mean, you guys know that like we hit a threshold. I think it was like 5,000 subs. No, it was 10,000 subs, and I gave away a sub pack, an older one. But I've got another one on the way, like the newer one. But I ordered it December 31st of 2020, and it's now August 17th, 2022, and we still have not gotten our X1 sub pack. What kind of bug is that? I want Genelix one day, but I'm happy with my JBLs. Yeah, JBL, that's what I have at home. I just have little JBL 305s. But I think that like as far as like a studio, like decked out studio, like I have everything that was the last purchase that I made. I've got a really big monitor. I've got a really powerful machine, and I have studio speakers that will last me a decade now, and or hopefully a decade if I take care of them. But I don't. There's nothing else to buy. Yeah, hi Data Broth. The IKI Loud MMTs are shockingly good. I have to I have to skedaddle for now. Nice chatting, everyone. Take care. Oogly, thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate the chat. I have nice big walls, so no problem with neighbors as I watch TV with a 5.1 system. Hi. Hi. What's up, Dash? Howdy, Dash. Howdy, Dash. Data glitch broth. Data gloth. I know I really want inch monitors because I'm not a fan of adding a sub. I'm not averse to it, but I've never had a sub, so I don't really know what that's like. But the sub that comes with, or the Focal sub that pairs with the Evo Twin, I hear is actually really good. I don't remember what it's called. The Sub 1? Yeah. And it's not $1,000, so there's that. But I hear that this actually pairs really well with. I do not struggle. Oh, I do not suggest the Matches LSR JBL sub.
See, I actually thought about that, and I'm glad that you say that because that was a purchase that I actually considered. The bass roll off on my Yamaha monitors is infuriating. It's super steep, so some stub notes just vanish. Match. That's kind of how I feel about the JBL 305s. Is like once you go from E to E flat, it's just like it's donezo, and it's just like fuck. Room acoustics is key. Well, there's not really anything I do about that front. Just get bigger speakers. The vinyl started peeling off in the first week. Yeah, I bought it. I'm not super happy with it. Really, in the first week, did you push it really hard and you just like, you know, shook the paint off of it? Without good bass treatment, a sub can actually easily ruin your mix. Well, that's also for the sake of like, if you're trying to mix on it, right? I don't even know if I'm trying to do that. I'm just trying to be able to hear sub. And I don't even care about hearing sub. I want to feel it. Yeah, we're going to call this one... oh, wait. Actually, I'm going to save all these patches first. And then we'll call this something else. And then let's do a different sound because... because I just wanted to... I try to just keep fresh with doing these, but... And the problem is, depending on your room, you can create silent notes where the sub drops substantially. Let's call this him. It is a creature. Him. Mid-side. That's what I should have saved that as. Him filter. I actually like mixing on AirPods. Really? Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense because that's what most people will probably be listening to your music on. But I just don't like headphones in general. Like, these are okay. I'm listening at a really quiet volume. Like, okay, I know that it says that, but that's not the actual volume. That's not the actual volume that I'm listening on, I swear. Like, I think the actual output of this is very... Yeah, it's at 25%, so there's that, but that's funny. Yeah, I'm listening really quiet. It's at like maximum volume. That'd be really fun. How do I like loopback? I like it a lot. It's usually pretty reliable. It quits on me sometimes, but the reason why I got it was because Black Hole. If you use Black Hole, you actually can't do... that was the problem that I had, is like you can't record in Bitwig and have a different output. So like I can have anything else on this be different. So I can even do something like this in particular and have just different things and still be able to record an audio source. So if we go here, I need to add a bus, I guess. Add mono. Mono.
It's mono. Eva, it's mono.
So that works pretty well. But yeah, you can't do that with Black Hole. So that's why I bought Loopback, because you can. And Sound Source, Rogue Amiga makes great stuff. Gotcha. Oh, okay, that's cool. Does the free version work just fine, or did I ended up purchasing it, but it was a good investment for me.
It's mono.
This is the Solid Snake version of mono. Yeah. So, but yeah, the other thing too is that if you're on a Mac and you want to stream on Discord, then you can actually use Loopback as well and set your input device to loop back. So this solves the problem of being able to stream and get your audio through that. So I've actually been able to teach private lessons through Discord, and that's been really nice. So like the investment was worth it to me for those reasons. I have sound source. Sometimes it hangs if I switch. Yeah, sometimes my loopback hangs as well, but like once you figure out how to fix it, then only on Mac though. Did I miss something? Das. It is only on Mac, but if you have a PC, then you shouldn't have any of these problems anyways. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was saving patches. Hold on. Yeah, it's only on Mac, but it's only useful for Mac. Right. We've officially started Eternum 5. Yeah, let's do something different. So Windows, you other methods. Have loopback on my Yamaha, but I use Reasio driver at the moment for complex routing or standalone synth, but probably get the Blue Cat connector. I've heard good things about that. I think isn't Blue Cat like kind of like Snap Heap and Multipass, but like externally or something? I don't really quite know how that works. Can also route up to 256 channels. I think Blue Cat is like Snap Heap, but for VSTs. Right. I think that's what it was, and that's actually pretty sick. So now what we are going to do is we're going to grab an LFO and we're going to create some steps out of this. I'm going to turn the snappy on. And we'll just start with something kind of like so. And set the polyphony to 1, and then we'll set this to like 12. And then change this to sync. Set it to be really slow. And then, fortunately, we have to kind of do things this way, which isn't the most fun, but it could be worse. Been a minute, been on A4, but please carry on. Blessings. Hey, Sticky. Thanks for coming in, dude. I actually used voice meter in the beginning, but latency was awfully high. Yeah, and I think that's something to consider as well. Is like I think loopback is just pass through, so you don't have any latency. What? But yeah, it's I know this sounds really stupid, but just like give me a second and this will end up sounding really cool when it's done. Have I tried the remap for setting notes to a scale in kilohertz hosts? No, I haven't. No, I don't even know what you're talking about. Well, I know about remapping, but AG06 is very low when recording audio with loopback, but I can switch mostly on its input mix. You can use a remap as a scale quantizer. How do I do that? You can use a remap. There are presets. Yeah, I'm used to just doing it this way. So you can actually set this as an arpeggiator for scales. 25% chance, mirror, saturation, warbling, scales. Oh. So you basically set an arpeggiator, and this becomes a scale that you can set between a specific amount of keys. Okay, that's not quite... All right, never mind. That's not quite what I was thinking that this was going to do. Open the remap presets. Yeah, I get what you're saying now, but to me, it's almost the same with setting like an actual scale as well, because this between 24 is actually 2 octaves, but it's split through the middle, so it's 1 octave up, 1 octave down. So if you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 notes, you can really just start to play with this as an arpeggiator in the first place, and then you can kind of just set it. I don't think it's so much as trial and error. I think it's more just like getting used to the visual representation. The point is that you set a scale and then you don't have to worry about tuning each step in the LFO. Well, you don't, but you do, because you still have to make sure that the melody that you make is a melody that you want. So even though it's going to be in scale, it doesn't quite necessarily mean that you want it to do that. But also, for this in particular, like I want there to be half steps in there. So I don't necessarily want it to be like a perfect major or minor scale. But knowing that, like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get you. My favorite thing is using the LFO table, quantize the scale. Yeah, so you can kind of like cycle through the scale. Because, I mean, theoretically, too, you could just be like, all right, here's 50%, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you go back to 50%. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then theoretically, that should, that should work if you're based off of those values. But what's interesting is, actually, now that I look at this, there's some interesting scaling going on right here. What the fuck is this? Why are these different percentage values? Anyway, I actually made a preset in the factory bank called Wavetable to Melody, which outlines the technique. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out in a bit. Check it out. She's got me spending. Scale, maybe? Scale? What happened here? What the fuck? Okay, let's try that one more time. what happened there? So you don't need to count. Just also the curve modulator is super underrated. I think, yeah, I think it's cool. I do see that there's a lot of value in it with how you can modulate like the frame windows and stuff. But at the same time, like I guess for the kinds of sounds that I make, it doesn't make that much of a difference to me. I don't know why I'm getting this window now, but I'm gonna try this one more time. Dash's video on it really opened my eyes to the things I wasn't aware that it could do. Loop modes and curve make it the best MSEG on the market, in my honest opinion. Yeah, that's kind of what I was describing. Was the idea that if you have this guy, you can actually randomize them like this. So you can set an MSEG pattern or whatever, and like do stuff like this, and have it kind of modulate between these points, which is kind of cool. But what you could also do is just set a randomized trigger on an LFO as well. And that's kind of what I found myself doing instead. So I would just do a regular LFO, like kind of like this. And then for like taming basses and stuff and creating phrases that were more usable, for me personally, what you can do is set the trigger on here like that. And what that'll do is, actually, hold on, you can set the note trigger to always trigger note on. And you can see that this will randomize when it triggers. Hey man, do I use a Bitwig template? I use a very simple one. Yeah, honestly, the modes are closer to what I wanted from an LFO table than the LFO table. Shape Master is dope too. I don't even know what that is. I'm very glad to read that. Well, yeah, dude, like, you guys all know what you're doing, you know? You guys all know your stuff, and that's why I like having you here, is because it's not like, you know, I'm not the only one that's here sitting, farting around on Faceplant. You guys are too, and that's why it's really fun to share information. I don't use a particular Bitwig template. I have a very basic one. It's just a sidechain group, so that doesn't exist. I guess I do use a template, but again, it's very simple. I've got fundamentals, and then I've got a sidechain group, and then I've got a saturator, and then these are just common tools that I use, but I turn them off. So let me go back to this really quick. Sorry, I'm making stuff super slow today. I'm just, like I said, I'm dead. I'm really fucking tired. I'm so tired. Needs more OTT. Interesting, by the way. Thanks for following me on SoundCloud. Yeah, I follow everybody on SoundCloud. Or I'm not really, I can't really recall off the top of my head, but I might have listened to your tunes and been like, oh, that was really cool. So, but yeah, for sure, dude. Snap, please. Oh. Oh, what? There we go. Okay, now that's something that we can work with. Do I have a favorite LFO modulator in Bitwig? I usually use classic LFO. Has anybody ever told you look like AU5? Because you guys look very similar to me. Do I really though? Do I? No, I'm not mad, but like think about that for a second. Do I really look like AU5? Or is it that we're just white and we both have long hair and you were doing racial profiling? Do we really look alike? Or is it the hair? Yeah, that's the first thing that came into my mind when I found you. Nah. You do look similar though. Hair maybe a bit. If Alckemy had the face of a baby, what are you trying to say? You trying to say I look all old and shit? Yeah, you're right, Dash. Lol. Man, you guys are ruthless. It's fine. It's fine. He is Ableton AU5 and you're the Bitwig AU5? I mean, I started in Ableton. But no, there's a common thing around that I'm budget AU5. It's been the running joke for years now. All right, we're picking up some steam here, finally. Never that. You guys could play brothers on a TV show. Could we really though? All right, hold on 1 second. This is about to get really cool, I think. I'm bouncing some long-ass clips in various warp modes I'm probably never going to use right now. I have a video coming out about that pretty soon. Anyway, man, sorry, it was really unnecessary for me to say it. No, it wasn't unnecessary. Like, it was, like, I didn't take it personal. It's pretty comical, and I feel like it's so... How do I say? Like, I think that the only reason why people say that is because we both have long hair. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that even if it were for the sake of roasting or something, like I can handle a roast or two. Just be sure to be ready if I dish it back. Y'all are just discount AU5 chat. It's pretty funny. It's interesting that there's that crazy detuning that's going on with that. And that's obviously because of the LFO, but I'm wondering if they changed some stuff regarding this, because this was not supposed to be. Oh, well, that might help. So depending on how you set your scale is how some of this is going to be. But even still, that's kind of interesting that the scaling is set like this. So apparently there's no way to change this. But yeah, PP skin. I keep wanting to hear an AU5 producer tag that sounds like "Hey you guys" from the Goonies, but have it be "Hey you fi." Oh god, why don't I use a skin for faceplant? I do use a skin. This is a custom skin. Complete newbie and faceplant here. Though I finally found one I like. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, there's still some weird detuning going on there, even though it says that this is at 50%. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, this is kind of weird. I don't remember this being like this. I think it's from the updated modulator, but you look really tired. What time is it there? You look really tired. You look like AU5. You look like this. You look like this. I am really tired because I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm tired all the time. All the time. That's also partly genetics, so I always have the dark circles under my eyes. This is what it is. I always be looking sleepy, but to your girl I'll be looking dreamy. No? I tried. Alright, let's try something a little different, just because I don't feel like fucking with that, but it's cool. Wow, today's productivity is like hella slow, but it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. It is fine. I'm also not really like focused on doing anything in particular other than just being online, so we're kind of just chilling. Check my last question. Oh, I'm sorry. What pack do you recommend from your collection for beginners? It depends. Are you... Sorry about that, Sticky. Thank you for reminding me. Do I work in 4/4? Do I only work in 4/4, or are there weird timing signatures? I have some tunes in 6/4, and then Tales from the Coffin does not have a time signature. It's completely like random. Let me see. I think for beginners, probably the best pack that I could recommend would be actually Eternum 4, because I think I think with Eternum 4, like, you could just pull up a preset and just 2 clicks and it's done. Not really, but sort of. So to put things into perspective, one thing that I've done with most of them anyways, is I have different shapes on them to where, like, you can just use them as bass lines, because each LFO has like a stepper on it. So something like, sorry. Hold on 1 second. So you can do something like that, and then you can just turn these on and literally just play like a melody with them and then record that as a bass line. Sorry. Just the filter. Different time signatures, I definitely should look more into rhythm theory. Well, I mean, what you can do is you can right click on this and then, or sorry, you can go like this maybe, and then go insert time signature change. So you can actually work in multiple time signatures through your project. And I'm pretty sure that any DAW you can do this. But yeah, there was this tune that I did on stream, which was Only What She'll Think. And this was I sampled this guy. I sampled this guy from Twitch, and he was a guitar player and a singer and stuff, but I just left the preset. It's still a preset, and I didn't do anything. I didn't even balance it, but I just left it because it sounded good. But I just pretty much played MIDI on this. Yeah. So I just kind of left it and I didn't balance it. So I think that with Eternum 4, this is even easier because you have different rhythms and stuff. And then it's all kind of like already there, and then you can just change the rhythm of what you want. So you can do something kind of like, right? And then if you want a different rhythm, you just change the LFO pattern. And then you can really just go through every one of these that has something like that and then just change it. So it's, again, pretty easy to work with. Some of these are unique, so you might have to fuck with them. Most of these though are kind of like the one that I described, where you can just change the shape. So this one in particular, and they fly like this until you play it, and then it slows down. But right, so you can just do something kind of like maybe like this, and then kind of like that, and then just change the phrase at random. And then you can set the speed to be slower, or change the speed to be faster. But even still, these are a lot of fun to play with, and I think regardless of what you get yourself into, you'll enjoy it. Oh shit, I lost whatever it was that we were doing. That's fine. Alright, let's get into some other shit. Things I heard from songs combining different time signatures, splendid. When you create pads like these with different pitches, do you still dare to play chords or just stick to one droning note? I'm playing a chord right now, actually. It's not a complicated chord, but usually when you play fifths, you can usually maintain the same chord. It doesn't really matter that much. Bitwig Convolver versus kilohearts. I think that they actually have different use cases, believe it or not. I find myself using them because they actually have different controls. But I kind of like need them both. I never thought I'd say that, but I experimented in Quanta yesterday, finally figured out how to make my own granular presets. That's cool. I broke it. Yo, wow, good day, bro. Hey, Silicide. But maybe with the update that will change. Wait, I'm hoping Quanta 2 really steps things up, but I still can't suggest Quanta when Pigments and Rapid exist. Or Bitwig's Granular Synth. What I keep wondering is why nobody is rating Devious Machine's Infiltrator. I keep trying to... Data Broth has actually just released like a preset pack, and I think Dash Glitch has some stuff too. People have been talking about it, I just don't personally use it. Push people to no avail. I rarely ever find myself using Quanta or Pigments these days. I really like Pad Shop. Yeah, Novum seems cool. Do I think Rapid is worth the buy? It depends. Do you have Faceplant? Yeah, cool. I love Infiltrator. It's my favorite multi-effects. The update is going to be sick. V2 coming soon. It's insane, isn't it? Same, guys. Hey, honey. How are you? That sounds nice. You doing okay? Very boring. I'm trying to stay awake. Why was I up last night? You know why I was up. You heard me just yelling at the dogs?
Nothing scandalous.
Lily, shut the hell up!
Cocaine and fucking in the pool. No.
Fucking who in the pool?
No.
What are you talking about?
No. What a scandalous life you lead, you know.
Scandalous life? Where I just take naps all the time? Love you. You need anything, honey? More coffee? Other things? So scandal mouse. That sounds like distilled Dre chords. Some days, everybody, one at a time, they got something to say. Another comes out, when they move the lips, it's a bunch of gibberish, and in fact, they forgot about Dre. Yeah.
Just one morsel, is that what you're saying?
Just one tasty morsel? Please. That's all I want is just one tasty morsel. That fits so hard. What? See you later, man. Going to bed. Wish you a good day. You as well, dude. Thanks for coming in. Do I even need Rift? No. Have I tried Rift out? I haven't yet. I don't personally like Rift, to be honest.
This is why the bad guy said I was going to invite his girlfriend over to lunch break.
No, he took off. I already have so many plugins, still figuring out how they work. What do I think of the term deconstructed as a music genre? It depends on what context you mean. I'm chomping at the bit for Infiltrator update they released a couple weeks ago. What'd you say? No. No! God, no! In my client song, this has been a hard one to finish.
How's that ASMR?
It's not bad. I'm good, baby. Thank you, though. I mean, chew on. Do what you want. Do what you want with my...
Is it loud?
Yeah.
Trying again.
This might be tasty this time. I was like, what? It's like a whole beat. Meat beat? No.
The meat beat is the rate at which you cut steak.
These crunch sounds would make good claps, I think. I agree.
We layer them on top of a snare.
Maybe later.
Night chocolate sounds like.
How do you have so much energy? I am so tired. Are you okay?
Oh my god. I need a big strong trigger to help me get off the stairs.
What is happening right
Goes
now?
up the stairs, goes to bed.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Only there was someone around who was good at their hands.
Help. You could support me. Helping support my lovely partner at
You do
alckemy.com.
You do not support me
We support each other. What are you talking about?
emotionally.
Hey, that half the rent is definitely support.
Well, the way you made it sound like it's like I'm a stay-at-home partner.
Help me support her.
Like,
I said help me help support help support you.
Your girl works for her money.
cue the dance.
God help me.
That is some kind of work.
You what? What?
Just selling your Xbox on the side, that's all. I'm renting it out.
You're just gonna sell my Xbox?
I'm gonna rent it.
That'd be tragic.
Makes more money at rent your Xbox with you.
I mean, do you want to stay in a relationship? That's a fast way to end it. You want to stay together? Selling my shit. I came to make a statement, Ian. This is your ultimatum. I'm selling your shit. Girl, bye.
Getting that cash flow. Rent consoles.
Yeah, you can rent consoles.
Like at, there's some places that do that. You rent consoles.
I think Gamefly, you can do that or something like that. I've got texture from DM2. He's ripped a lot more than I expected. It's great for adding top-end texture for basses. But I don't think everyone needs it, though it can be useful depending on what you do. Yeah, I'm not saying that Rift is a bad plugin by any means. I just don't think that it's... I don't really think that it's for me. I don't really care for it, long story short. It's kind of like... I don't know, if you have Trash, it's like the last distortion plugin that you need. No, I'm serious, it's a plugin, it's called Trash.
If your music is trash.
If your music is trash, why do you need more plugins anyways?
I've been so hurt. Never been so hurt by something in all of my life.
Your music is garbage. And it's fine. It's fine. Actually, she makes really good music. She has a YouTube channel. Rich can do things Trash can't. I mean, yeah, but whether it's useful or not is a different story. I'm not arguing that it's not that. Does Trash have modulation? It does. Well, you can do modulation outside of it. So like you can wait. No, I think it has a multi-stage envelope. You can do anything Infiltrator and Rift can do with kilohearts stuff. Well, sort of. Kind of. Like, Rift has this, like, DC offset distortion thing that you can do that's kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't personally care for it. Yes and no. Trash lets you modulate filters, but nothing else. Yes. Okay, sorry. sometimes you actually need to keep it simple. More VSTs, more money, and then you get lost. Dude, there's a lot of truth in that. Infiltrator V2 will have stuff nothing else does, and that's all I'm legally allowed to say for now. Happy to be educated, for real. Yeah, I mean, I'm open-minded to Infiltrator and stuff, but I haven't really seen anything that I'm like, oh, I need to buy Infiltrator. It's so good and whatnot. Have you tried Boom Library's Uberloud? No, but I did a review on, what was our other thing? Was it Damage? Enrage. I did review Enrage, and that thing was pretty cool. Kind of weird workflow, though. I just snagged the demo. It's seriously loud. Especially with Infiltrator 2, there will be many things you can't do in Snap Heap. Hype. Hype. Hi, Charlie. You being good? Or you being bad? You being bad? You're probably being bad. I think now would be a good time to take a stretch break. Hey, stop it. Stop it. You, sir, here. You're a two. You're small, but you are still a two-handed dog. Stop it. Bruh, if you want me to pick you up, you gotta work with me, dude. I'm trying not to hurt you. There we go. Okay, hi, buddy. Hello. I know. I'm so stoked for Infiltrator 2. Why Bitwig and not Ableton? You're kidding, right? You're kidding, right? It's Mario. Also depends on... Oh, doggy. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear them pattering around, but there's 3 other ones. Hello. Hello. He's so bad. Charlie looks so sweet, but he's such a bad dog. He's actually got a diaper. You want to show them your diaper? Come on, let's take a look. He's got a diaper because he pees everywhere. But I still love you. I still love you. What's cracking? Hey, Jungleism. It's good, dude. We're just chilling. He looks sad when I said he's bad. So much love in the house. I'm very big on, like, I'm a very affectionate person and love. Love. Gentle souls. I'm going to introduce you to Sadie here in a second. She is the giant T-Rex, beautiful lab. I love the shit out of these dogs. They're so cute. You're a good boy. You know? Okay, I'm gonna put you down, okay? I used to live with my brother. Come on, Sadie. I used to live with my brother, and he's got 3 dogs. And, hi, baby. I know. Sadie's my favorite. Oh. I know. You just think that you're a baby, but you are too fucking big. I know. You are too big. You can't get in my lap. You can't even fit, Sadie. You can't even fit. You're too large. You're too large. Yeah? Are you gonna bark at me? You gonna bark at me? Okay. Alright. I know. Dude, Sadie's not a dog. Sadie, I'm trying to talk. Sadie, stop it. Get some help. You just gonna yell at me all day? You just gonna yell? Hey! Enough. No. 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 Stop it. Stop it. Sorry, guys. Simple dog for resampling to make color base. Hello, my shadow came running now. She, yeah, she's a person. She just talks to you. And, like, when she sleeps, when she sleeps next to me, rather, like, as I sleep, she just puts her head over me and, like, she spoons me. So, she's really sweet. Sampling them wolves. Followed you, thank you. I'll check the YouTube out. Yeah, I'd like to see what happens with Infiltrator 2.0. I must go to the airport, Toodles. Catch another stream next month. Yo, dude, be careful. Already followed you, lol. Yeah, everybody go follow Dash. Everybody go follow Databroth. They're great channels to be aware of. And today has been incredibly unproductive for me, and I apologize. But we're cool. It's, you know, just lack of sleep. The lack of sleep will do that. Yo, sick, thank you. Same. Samesies. Oh. Unproductive today as well. It happens. But, you know. Some days, like, you get all the stuff done, and then some days it's just like... Bruh. So some other cool stuff that we can maybe think about doing with this, though, is I'm going to add some AM to this via wavetable. I follow the best, and they are here. That's really kind of you. I'm talking about Dash. I'm joking. No, I do like being here, like, even if I'm just kind of chilling and stuff. We had a really good conversation earlier. That was really fun. Big YouTube gang. True. Hey, Bada Bing. As Cameron takes his vacation. Big is sick. Can't wait to do it. Is there an update? 434. Are they close to the end of the beta testing, or do you think they might be another tester? Alckemy, I know you do this tricking stuff. Do I do martial arts as well? Yes. I used to run a school, actually. There was a short break, probably on vacation from the devs. Time for another coffee. I might do the same. What's Bitwig got over Ableton though? Just can't bring myself to use it, but haven't really looked into the other DAWs. I have a video on Bitwig versus Ableton, so I would suggest doing that. But long story short, a lot, like a lot. And I knew coming into Bitwig that it was going to take a lot for me to like be convinced to switch over. So yeah, I would go check out that video. My aunt is thoroughly enjoying these sounds through her DemiGorgon. Modulate. Good. I'm glad your aunt is getting a good use of the stream. Yeah, so, all right, we can take a quick tour. So, the biggest thing for me is bounce in place or bounce to new track without having to freeze and flatten. You can do one or the other. You can slice in place. You can edit multiple clips at the same time. You can do some insane audio warping. So if you go bounce in place and you go into this editor, you can actually cut and paste and change. Oh shit, sorry. You can cut and paste and change things within this. So cancel. There we go. So you can go into these kinds of editors, and you cannot do this in Ableton. Each clip becomes unique, so you can change the pitch and the warp mode in between. So these can be in one warp mode, and the rest of these, or any of these for that matter, can be in different warp modes. You can apply multiple fades to each. And the other cool thing is that you've also got operators both on MIDI and audio. So you can set repeats on these, like this, to where you're doing exponential rhythms. You can set chants. You can randomize a crap ton of stuff, which if I wanted to, I can go like this and then hit the velocity here and go chaos, and then set the scale to something completely different. So something kind of like that, and then hit chaos, and you can see that as I work with this, it will begin to drastically change the velocity of all of these. You have MIDI through, so what that means is if you're using something like Cthulhu or Captain Chords, you don't have to like set a MIDI input channel, it just works. So if I have this set up, you'll see that I can just go like this. And you can hear that it's working, right? So essentially what that means is all I'd have to do is just put a synth outside of it, or to the right of it rather, and it'll work, which is great. Everything is modular, so if it has a CC control or it has a knob, you can add any kind of modulator that you want onto it, and you can modulate modulators. It's got the grid, which is a fully modular system. The devices that are in here are pretty nuts. What else is really cool? The vocoder is sick. Because you have MIDI through, you can actually put synths inside of your vocoder. So you can do something like this, to where you go carrier, and then go maybe delete brown noise or whatever, and go and pull up something like phase plant. So as long as you're sending MIDI through this, then you can actually, this is the bass that we made earlier today, but you can actually have this modulate on a synth within this. Sorry, I can grab that. You can get some really crazy shit with that. So that's just a couple of things that you can do. The sampler inside of Bitwig is fucking nuts. This thing is so cool. So aside from, again, like I talked about, having all the modulators and stuff, you can choose between repitch, cycles, and textures. Textures being a granular synth. And not only that, but if you set this to multi-sample, then you can actually have up to 128 different samples within this. And then you can granularize these all at the same time, or you can right click and go distribute select equally, kind of like your 128 racks in Ableton, but you can set that to here and then select between granularizing all of these at the same time, or you can do them all together, which is really fucking cool. The other thing that's really efficient is the workflow aspect. So typically speaking, you would go Control F to kind of pull up a new thing, but with this you've got just little plus buttons that just pulls up the browser anywhere. So you can pull it up there, you can pull it up here. You've also got a dedicated browser over to the right. I'm trying to think what else is super sick that's different. Does Bitwig have any sample organization, or do you still set up your folders as the old-fashioned way? I think it's the same. I'm finally getting time to watch your tutorials. Been listening to them when I drive to work this morning. Yeah, hopefully I've been making stuff that's been what's it called? Like interesting to listen to as opposed to just having to watch. And I think that I've had a lot more fun of like doing like the talking head videos where I'm just like talking myself as opposed to where I'm having to like show you something or whatever. I like the philosophical things. Organizing is like Ableton. Writing within their browser. Yeah, what other cool shit is within Bitwig? I mean, those are the main features that I use it for, but I will say like the audio editing is unparalleled between any other DAW. Oh, right. So operators within MIDI and stuff too. Like this is where shit gets really sick. So if you like making intelligent dance music or IDM or something, you can just pull up a drum kit. Drum machine, it doesn't matter. Well, I was hoping that, oh, no wonder. Okay. There we go. So you can just set random shit like this. Now each MIDI note can be unique, and so when you apply an operator to it, you can repeat it in the same way. You can apply a chance, you can apply a velocity slope. You can also set recurrences or like conditions. So you can do like, you never trigger this one on the first, then you've also got a step sequencer mode. So that way if it's repeating on itself, then this means on, this means off, this means on, this means off, this means on. So like for creating like cool glitch stuff that's always randomized. Oh, that's another thing. You also have the browser, or you have the clip launcher or session view in the same window as your arrangement view, so it becomes really easy to work between the two. But let's do that one more time. So if I were to grab all of these and set some kind of chance on them, then I'm always going to get something different. And what you can even do is you can grab this and you can go expand to however many takes you want. And so this will actually generate all of the randomized patterns that you have and then place them out on as a MIDI clip for you on the next bar over. And it's all printed. So like, as far as a generative means, you can do such cool shit in Bitwig. And for me personally, with the resampling workflow, like it's fucking crazy. Did I show modulators? Yeah, I did. The audio editing actually sold it to me. Yeah, the audio editing is fucking nuts. I can finally watch Dash's premieres that are balls early in the morning. Well, you know that he's in Africa, right? So, you know. So like follow actions, but much simpler. Yeah, you can also, well, you can do follow actions, but you can also set follow actions to your clips. So like, if I have this, within this, you've got different follow actions on each MIDI note, right? So you can set your if, so without, previous, never on first, blah, 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 whatever, plays unconditionally, plays on the first cycle. But then clip, you've also got your play mode here. So you can do from the start, continue quantized, then you've got your timings, then you've got quantized to loop, and then you've got your next action as well. So you set this up maybe on this one. I don't really remember how to make that work. I think you have to continue default 4 bars. After 2 bars, then you can set your different follow action. So you can play random and current block and then blah, blah, blah. So you've got it both as a clip and on as MIDI. Yes, and it also works on audio events as well. So if I wanted to do that as well, maybe like click on these with these operators, and this is on repeat, and you can set the operators here. Then you can also set these follow actions, I guess, or on first, never on first, and then have your recurrences on. So it's so nuts. The stuff that you can do in this is so fucking nuts. But really, for me, the bounce in place, the time stretching, and like the fact that you don't have to freeze and flatten. So like if I just turn this off and deactivate it, it's deactivated. I don't have to flatten it, or I don't have to freeze it. So it saves your CPU. It also sandboxes plugins in case if you have plugin crashes, so it decreases your chances of your DAW crashing, for that matter, which if you're doing beta, be careful, but on every stable version, Bitwig is so solid, it like never crashes. Maybe once in a blue moon. Switched to Bitwig for his DJ sets. That says everything. Yeah, actually Dash Glitch has some really cool videos on DJing with Bitwig as well, so you should definitely check out his videos. I'm trying to think about what other workflow stuff I really enjoy about Bitwig. I think for the most part, like it's pretty simple. I just do a lot of resampling, and I think that Bitwig is perfect for that. But if you're into generative, this is definitely a DAW for you. If you're into sequencing, this is definitely a DAW for you. If you're into modular synthesis, this is definitely the DAW for you. I guess Max for Live is like a different beast of its own, but the grid is a more traditional sense, where you actually have like an actual like modular environment to where like you can connect shit and put it together, and it makes it pretty easy to understand. You can type in things here, grab your mixer, do multiple things like this, where you can mix these together, or it's pretty easy to kind of like substitute these for different stuff, which is pretty nice. And then you've got a bunch of different like oscillator types and whatnot. You got wavetable. You can do FM in this if you really wanted to, so you can send another thing out there and pull FM there. Yeah, so there's lots of different options that you can do with that shit. But resampling, man, like I do believe that Bitwig is the king of resampling, or queen, depending on how you want to identify it. But the fact that you can do crazy shit like bounce in place, slice in place, and then just like do a quick fire of bouncing in place, and then resampling it, and then resampling it, like it's money, especially for the kinds of sounds that I make. XNB makes a lot of tuts on the grid. Yeah, there's a lot of resources on Bitwig now. But if you want to know more information, then just go check out my Ableton versus Bitwig video, and I go into detail about what I like, what I don't like, what I miss from Ableton, and what I hope both of the programs add. But in that sense, yeah, like I do miss a couple of devices from Ableton, but outside of that, like, yeah, I don't like going back to Ableton. I don't like using Ableton at all anymore. The only reason why I still have it is because I still need it for video stuff, and then I teach in it sometimes because a large majority of people still use Ableton. But yeah, I mean, does anybody have any specific questions about Bitwig that you would want to know about? He did some presets too in Bitwig. Polarity has a ton of fucking stuff. And like, dude, yeah, Polarity like really excels in the grid stuff. And I would say I like to dive more into like the practical, I guess, typical arrangement view, so to speak. Oh, one other thing that's really sick about the sampler that they recently added that is like criminally underrated is the release. So if you have another sampler within this and you place it within the release here, then what that does is when this MIDI stops playing, it's actually going to trigger the next one. So if you've got a kick snare, so let me just find a kick. And this is just one. Hold on one second. This is just one, like one potential thing. Oh, that's why I was like, what the fuck? And then you set something like this. Note delay to 4/16, and then you throw a snare in here. Then you can actually have these trigger on and off. So take a look at this. So whenever, after I finish the MIDI note on this, when I release it, it's going to play a snare. So it's playing the snare, but it's not playing the right pitch. So I can also go so you know that's actually really fucking cool. I just thought of something. If this always plays at the same time as that, then hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, like this is a really cool way to like create some breaks and to like just do like, I don't know, like ghost notes even. That's so cool. Yeah, and then you can put, like he's saying, you put hi-hats on another release. And when you're doing sidechaining, you can actually tell it what to do, like tell it which one to pay attention to as well. So if I had a sidechain on here and it was going to say audio sidechain, and you pick what device you want it to go to, turn it on, you go here and you go to sampler, sorry, kick rather, you can go to your sampler chains, you can go to your release and then go to sampler out, or you can go to your kick, or you can set it to just the whole thing, or you can set another chain on here indefinitely. So if you open this up and you go like this and place another one within here, then whenever this releases, you can put another note delay on this. And move it over this way. And you can offset it like this. And maybe do something kind of like that. And then this can just be a hat, like Dash was talking about. That is not a hat. That's a hat. Okay, I was like, what the hell? It wasn't working because I put the release on the outside of that. So you have to nest it within each one. So like that's super cool. And there's just a bunch of devices like that that you can do. So like let's take it one step further. And I'm going to group this, and then I'm going to use replacer. which I have a video about this, but you set this here and you set the key with this. So anytime this triggers MIDI, or anytime this triggers audio, it's going to replace it with a MIDI note. So if we go to like D#0, you can actually place a synth in here. And we can just find something and just use a sub, because I don't really feel like fucking with that. But yeah, so whenever this triggers audio, you go audio in from instrument layer. And you go kick 10 pre. There's a hair in my mouth. That's gross. Sorry. And now we've got a bass line. Exploding over and over with his stream. Wait, what's wrong? No, I know, but what I was saying was like I was soloing on purpose. And if you have one of my presets with one of this stuff, then check this out. That doesn't sound good. Sorry. You can also set a note length on this. So right now it's very short, but if you set a note length with this, then you can actually make it longer. So you can set something like this. I'm going to make sure that this is one polyphony, so that way it's going to re-trigger, but you can also set steps on this. So as opposed to this just being one note, right, you can actually apply steps to an octave. So you triple click 1, 2, 3, maybe not. I'll just do it this way. And then go 12. And now whenever we open this up, we can actually play a scale with this, or play notes with it rather. Maybe just like 4 steps. I don't really want to make this too complicated. But you can set this of like a quarter note. And then what you can do is you can set a diatonic transposer, sorry, a key filter. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's pretty much saying the same thing. And then if you wanted to, what you could also do is like, let's say this is a starting point for you. After you have the note length, you can actually change this again with an arpeggiator. Or yeah, you can place a key filter on the opposite side of this, I believe, maybe, and then see what this does. I'm still thinking about getting the VC VRAC to experiment. I often just use it to generate CV/MIDI. Yeah. And then what you can do is you can sidechain it on the outside. So what you can also do with this, from just having a one track fits all, is you can go back into the note delay here and set this delay offset a little bit off like this, and then you can actually add track delay. Now to match this on the arpeggiator, which is really fucking cool, this is actually one of my favorite tools, is that you actually have a humanize over here. So you can set this to something kind of like that, and you can actually match this here. Maybe set the octave to something like that, and then, I don't know, just create a different, more complicated melody. But you see like the rabbit hole behind this, right? There's so much cool stuff that you can do with this that's really inspiring. What's up, y'all? Hey, man. So you can like do this. Dude, thank you so much for the membership, by the way. And then once you have that, you can get into something like this where you balance everything out. Hit Command J, start to change this stuff into the same process that you normally would start making loops with and stuff, of kind of just pulling this out. And is that on repitch? It is. So now you can kind of get really cool shit like this. That's actually really cool. Hold on. So now you've got, you know, I don't know, something like this, and then you start getting into the same idea about like creating different, hold on one sec. Something kind of like that. And then I told myself I was not going to make another track today, so I'm not going to go much further than this, but you can start to get into making some really wonky shit with this that is really fun. Option. Then what you can do is you can group all this stuff together. We don't actually have a dedicated kick and snare, but you can, I'm sorry, I'm not reading chat. Give me just 1 second. This is why I stopped talking, but you use something kind of like this. And what you can do is like, you don't even have to like record this live. All you have to do is just create a clip on the master channel like this, and then go J, and then look, it will bounce it for you, and then you just delete the master clip. But now we have other stuff to work with. Like, so that sounds really cool. So we toss that in. You know, now if we wanted to, we can just add like a dedicated kick or something. That'll work. Doesn't really matter. We can throw a sidechain on this. And then we're going to throw a kick in here, kind of like so. We're going to set that sidechain to that kick. And then now we've got like just some weird wonky beat. And that's what's so fun about this, is really just like, if you're in the resampling workflow, like it's so much easier to come up with really interesting, crazy shit. Then you can do the same thing with this like we did from before, which is, you know, something kind of like that's kind of cool. Bounce in place and then re-pitch it, or yeah. Set this to beats mode. Then do the same thing like that. Grab that. Maybe take this little piece right here. Stretch it out. Like I said, man, like just Bitwig is fucking awesome. Set the pitch. Actually, I don't really want to fish through that, so we'll just bounce it in place and then set the pitch like this. And I am not thinking about this at all. It's really just a matter of like, of just having fun with the process of things. And it takes a while to get here, and I talked about that from before, but and then that's when you can go back into some of those presets and stuff that I've made. We're gonna use Clark. So you can kind of, you know what I mean? You can kind of get the idea about how creative the approach, and this is just one approach that I use. Let's try that one more time. And then you can kind of filter that out. you can do this to where you grab the whole thing like that and then go bounce to new track. Toss that in. Just grab the whole thing like this, pitch it up, go into beats mode. You can use a frequency shifter on this to try to I'll look into it. You can get it to rent to own. Yeah, you can pay full price one time. Oh, hey, Tyblee, I'm sorry. Yo, Al, could you teach us some acoustic physical modeling synthesis sometime? Yeah, I could do that. I could do that right now if you want. And then that'll probably be the last thing that I do. But, well, actually, what I just did was very similar. Then you can bounce that out and restart the whole process all over again, and the track starts writing itself because you just start taking little hits and bits and pieces of this and finding cool little moments and stuff to find inspiring sounds. Like that little guy right there. You can kind of start using that and maybe before the kick. And then what you can also do is take that, throw that into a sampler. I'm just making random choices right now, by the way, guys. It's just like, oh, you can do this, you could do that, you could do the thing. I'm pretty sure that this is still at D sharp, so we can set this to D sharp 3. Maybe. We want to set this into a loop mode. Maybe crossfade it if possible. Maybe we can change this to texture mode. We can set this to have some kind of space. Now he's into the zone. No, I'm not going into the zone. Those are the best choices. Yeah, the ones that you don't really give a shit about. But I agree, right? Is there a way to slice audio in the Bitwig sampler? Yes and no. There's a way to divide it, but there's not a way to chop breaks. Let's say I just spent some time making a drum kit with that sampler release trick, and it's super fun to have an instant drum break maker. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that too, and like getting comfortable with the note effects and combination with the sampler stuff gets really fucking insane. Thanks, dude. I didn't expect you to, but I appreciate when you can teach some anytime. Respect to your concentration. Yeah, dude, I teach all the time. Like, this is kind of why I'm here, right? Is to kind of just have some fun with you all and to hang out with chat. Like, I'm a little bit more awake now, even though I'm still like exhausted. But as you can tell, like my productivity has increased a lot at the expense of me chatting. But yeah, I would say like with physical modeling things, like for one thing, like there's this, like to clear up the room about like hold on, forget everything I just said. Let me start one at a time. Chopping things in Bitwig. You can right click, go slice to drum machine, or you can go slice to multi-sample. The problem though is that you have to redo it if you don't like the way that it comes out. So if you go slice to multi-sample, then you can do either at eighth notes, or you can also do at onsets or audio events. But if you don't like the slices that you get, the problem that I dislike is that you have to redistribute the samples. So between something like that. The other thing that you can do, which is what I prefer instead, is to set, and this is a trick that I have on Bitwig Sampler, but is to set the velocity. Where's my sampler? Where's my sampler? You can actually use this right here to set the velocity to offset the sample start. And this doesn't apply to drum breaks because of transients and stuff, but what that basically means is, this is a bad example, but just take it in context, is that whenever I change the velocity on here, it's actually going to change the playhead to move in different positions. And so that creates a really cool way to take like long audio cuts of like basses and stuff and figure out how to make a bass line. So places of coffee. Yeah, I could use another coffee. So I use the note repeater in Euclidean mode for the hats. I'm excited to see what's possible with this. Yeah, and it's just something cool to do, right? So anyone use HY slicer? What about getting that one? I don't know what that is, but yeah, so that's like your pros and cons, right? It's not like simpler to where like it'll redistribute the slices for you. I would just use, especially for that context, I would use the velocity set to change the offset position. And then you turn the velocity down so that way the velocity doesn't affect the volume. What was that next question? Acoustic stuff. Yeah, so two main things with that. Convolution and reverb is your best friend. So like, I guess I'm not really gonna like spend a lot of time teaching this because it's just a matter of context and like you kind of have to figure it out for yourself. But like with psychoacoustics and stuff, you can't really control a lot of that because it's designed to be based off of a real life space. So the psychoacoustics that are happening in this room, the reverberation and the reflections that you hear are based off of the architecture or the geometry of the room. And then also you've got like your diffusion and shit, and that's a little bit beyond, that's like my step off point with science and stuff. But what you can do in order to replicate a physicality aspect to it are a few different things, especially in regards to space. And the biggest one is convolution reverb. So if you take a listen to this and then you use a convolver, what a convolution reverb is designed to do is actually replicate a real space by taking a small, very short sample and sending it through the space and then recording the reverberation that you get from that, which is called an impulse. So you can see here that this says St. Peter's Cathedral Saints. So that means that this was most likely recorded in a cathedral and it's meant to replicate the physical space of a cathedral. So if we take a listen to this in full context, this is just the percussion. This is essentially going to try to replicate the drum or the percussion group that we've just created and the basses and stuff, actually everything, and place it within the church or the cathedral. Right? And so the trick to it is to try to not even do it with a dry wet mix. In my opinion, I think that it's actually better to create a full wet chain and a full dry chain, and then you can just mix the full chain in. So you go like this, and then now you've got a completely dry signal and then you've got the reverb behind it. So that's one aspect of doing like of adding real life physicality to your sounds. And it's also like if you distort convolution reverb, it's a great way to get really heavy industrial sounds, and you can combine convolution reverbs in order to get more unpredictable stuff. Just make sure you use a limiter because sometimes it can get kind of shrieky. So there's that. The other thing that you can do is actually something that DataBroth taught me on one of his tutorial videos, which is understanding like comb filters and stuff. But what you do is you take a really easy sine wave, kind of like this. I have this soloed, sorry. And you can actually make things sound like metal or organic through FM as well. Sorry. Just something kind of like that, and then we can grab an envelope. But if you do something that's like FM based, kind of like so, that doesn't sound all that interesting, but if you set an arbitrary harmonic, and then you set this as here, as an envelope, and you set this to be an envelope as well, this is going to become more metallic. See how that sounds like almost like it's like a... And then if you do the same thing with AM as well, then you can also kind of start to build off of that. So maybe we change this here and we grab another envelope. And I know that I'm not like explaining the mechanics behind it a whole lot, but it's just a matter of like, here's the process, or sorry, the wheres and whys, but because that's kind of a long story. But you see how it kind of has a little bit more physicality to it. Then if you combine that with really short noise, kind of like this, and you send that through a comb filter, and I like to make custom comb filters, so you just basically make a bunch of boosts and notches, kind of like this. And you want to create like really big resonant peaks and stuff, and you create just a really small amount of reverb through this. So like even this much, and then you can set key tracking on this. We might want to do that twice. Let's go ahead and use a limiter though, because that can sometimes get insane. But through this and with the key tracking, we're just going to set this at like D something. That should work. And then set this to like 24. You can see that the key tracking is following the comb filter. But can you hear how it's a lot more like... So yeah, you can create physical things by sending small amounts of noise along with a touch of reverb into comb filtering and stuff, and you end up getting results like that. But yeah, that's just an introduction. I've got a video on how I do it in Faceplant. DataBroth has a video on how he did it in Vital. So I'm gonna go watch your Bitwig vids and get it on Pay Monthly. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of videos to get through, and you can always ask questions here too if there's something that you want to know specifically. But thanks for the info. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, does anybody else have any other questions about anything? I need to go soon because I need to use the restroom. If you guys can, I don't know if you have or not, but I would love you so much if you could like the video. And if you guys like my sounds, then consider checking out Eternum Floor for Faceplant at alckemy.com. It's the best pack I've ever made. Fully 100% confident on trying to put it out there just because of the amount of work that it took, but two, it's dope. It's dope. Thanks, man. I gotta ask more. Yeah, and you guys can ask me questions in the Discord as well. So, you know, just go into general, go into music production and be like, hey, Alckemy, do you have a video on this, or have you covered this before? And if not, then I'll make a video on it. And if I have covered it, then I'll lead you to the video. So, yeah. How to get a girlfriend when I don't go outside? Tinder, Bumble, Match.com. Yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go because, like I said, I gotta use the restroom. But much love to you all, and thank you so much for being here. I will see you all tomorrow, where be sure that you guys are here around the same time because we're gonna be doing some community-based stuff. and you guys will have a chance to. Oh no, not tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow night rather. So later in the evening, tomorrow night we'll be getting together on Discord and we'll be doing some fun stuff like we did last week. So thank you guys so much. I will see you. Check out the VOD if you missed it, and yeah, bye everybody. I gotta go.